There are two things you can do while mixing any song to make sure that the levels across all of the instruments are balanced properly and to make sure that the panning left and right was also done properly. Today on Garageband and Beyond, I'm going to teach you how to set up your own preset inside of your own computer so you can just click it and it just drops into the master channel output every single time you're mixing, so you have these tools at your fingertips while you're mixing. Okay, so this is going to be pretty easy, you guys. First thing you need to do is make sure that you have your master channel output turned on. If you don't know how to do this, go up here to the track pull-down menu, and right here, yours will say Show Master Track. Mine's already open, so it says Hide. So anyway, now I have it down here. I clicked on it. I want to make sure that I'm in the plugin viewer window, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to drop in two gain plugins, okay? So the gain plugin is under utility. Here's the first one, and I'm going to do it again, okay? So now, the very first thing you need to do is on the first one. So you're going to select the first one, and you're going to come up here, and it's going to say Convert to Mono. Boom! Now, when you turn this one on and off, right? When it's off, you're going to be coming out in stereo. When it's on, song's coming out in mono. Now you can mix in mono with one single click in your master channel output. Now, for the other thing, we are going to turn this one down dramatically, okay? So, and this is going to be up to you and your room and your space and stuff, but let's turn this one off and just listen. So probably around there for me on this song. So if I turn this off, you don't know what I've been through. Okay, so now let's talk about why you would possibly want to do this. And I did sort of go around and tweak this mix a little bit so it was less than perfect. Not that the original mix was perfect, but I did a couple of things just so you can really hear what happens when you put it into mono. So we're at full volume now, and I'm going to switch this from mono to stereo and back and forth. And I want you guys, hopefully you're in your studios or have headphones on, so you can really hear what happens when I stick it into mono, and you will hear elements of the mix poking out and some of them getting buried, all right? So we're going to start in stereo. You don't know what I've been through. You know what I'm going through. You know what I've been through. You know what I'm going through. I've been busy filling up, feeling like a younger pup. Somehow it has finally dropped. Don't know how I'll ever stop. I've been really killing it. No more freaking stressing it. Time has worked itself right out. Now I'm gonna check it out. So if that wasn't as obvious to you as it was to me, here's what I'm hearing. When I go into mono, the drums are too loud. The backup vocals might be a little bit too low in the mix. And this is, I mean, I already know what I did, but when I hear it this way, it really pokes those drums out. Listen to the drums in particular. You don't know what I've been through. You know what I'm going through. You know what I've been through. You know what I'm going through. I've been busy filling up. Right? In mono, they completely overpower the mix, right? And this is something I think when it's in stereo, it's pretty okay. Like I could conceive of myself like letting it be this way had I not dropped it into mono. Like this is an okay volume for the drums, I think. Feeling like a younger pup somehow. Right, but that's in stereo, so it sounds pretty good. It's not terrible. How it has finally dropped. Don't know how I'll ever stop. But if I switch it into mono, never stop. I've been really killing it. No more freaking stressing it. Time has worked itself right out. Now I'm going. Right? I if you can't hear it, I'll tell you. The snare's getting too loud, and the kick drum is too heavy, and it's a little bit too loud in general. So this is just one example, but using this trick of switching to mono is something you hear engineers talk about all the time, and I don't see a video on YouTube how to do that. So I wanted to show you that. Now, on the other end of the spectrum here is this gain reduction tool. Now, when I do this, this is mostly, again, to hear the balance across the board. This is less about, obviously, the stereo field, but more about mixing big vocals or big complicated mixes in general. Any mix when you're mixing should go through the low level listening process. It will just let you know what's poking out too much. The lower you can listen, the better, really. So let's just turn it off for a second. And we'll start at full volume. You'll know when I'm turning it on and off. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I'm going through. I've been busy filling up, feeling like a younger pup. Somehow it has finally dropped. Don't know how I'll ever stop. I've been really killing it. No more freaking stressing it. Time has worked itself right out. Now I'm gonna check it. Okay, so same thing happens, I think. What I really hear is the drums are too loud. Now, you know, this is my mix, this is my song, but the concept of listening at a low volume and mixing at a low volume is really just so you are able to focus on the instruments that poke out. And you really can't hear that at loud volumes. At loud volumes, your room becomes part of the process and the problem. All sorts of different things happen that aren't friendly for really trying to get the fine-tuning balance down. You gotta mix at low volumes, guys. I say it all the time. Mixing in mono, also very valuable. So now, okay, let's talk about how you're gonna save this preset. So now you have these two, and I'm gonna leave them off just so when you save the preset and you open it, they are turned off, okay? So you're gonna come up here to this button here, the library button. And now you're going to come down to save at the bottom. And we're going to call this, let's just say mono / level drop. Okay. Save it. Boom. And now it lives in the user patches file under the mastering window. You know, if I hit factory here, you see all the old standard mastering stuff. User patches here. So that's it. That's pretty much it. If anytime you need this stuff, you can come here. You're going to have to select the master channel first to open up this particular library. And then you're just going to come down here and select whatever preset you have made. So that's pretty much it. Relatively short video, but super, super useful information for you guys. This is something that I really believe in, and so do so many other engineers, mixing in mono and mixing at low volumes. These are the tricks of the trade, you guys. And if you're not doing it, start doing it and your mixes will just get better. It takes a little bit of time learning how to mix in mono, just like getting used to listening to music in mono. It's just an interesting way to do it. But if you pan things too far out, you will notice that, like, oh my gosh, when I put it into mono, they disappear. That means you panned them too far. Same difference with the gain reduction. You will just hear what's poking out too much. And that's pretty much it. So you guys, as always, thank you for watching my channel here. I really do appreciate your viewership and the comments and all that stuff. Of course, I do have a Patreon page. If any of you would like to help support the channel in that manner, that would be very appreciated. And otherwise, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Friday with a review of a piece of equipment. Okay, peace and love.